We are living in this incredible moment. The AI revolution is here, and it feels like it's changing everything overnight. But behind all that digital magic, there's a powerful, kind of hidden cost that we really need to start talking about. Okay, let's get right into it. The AI revolution is absolutely powering up, no doubt about it. But that brings us to the central question of this whole thing. At what cost? What is the actual price we're paying for this massive leap in technology? Well, to find the answer, you have to look at the engines driving this whole boom. And they are the hungry, hungry giants of our digital age, data centers. So, what even is a data center? Just imagine a giant warehouse, a huge facility, and it's just packed to the gills with thousands and thousands of powerful computer servers. Their one job is to process and store these unbelievable amounts of data that AI needs to function. And to do that, they need a staggering amount of energy, not just to run the computers, but to keep the whole place from, overheating. And it's really no exaggeration to say that these facilities are the literal backbone of AI, of cryptocurrency, you name it. And as these technologies just keep expanding, their appetite for energy isn't just growing, it is absolutely surging. Now, this is where it gets really eye-opening. Look at these projections. The demand from these data centers is getting so intense that it's expected to push the entire U.S. power grid to record highs in just the next couple of years. We are talking about a totally unprecedented strain on our national infrastructure. And that strain on the U.S. is really just one piece of a much bigger global puzzle. Because this isn't just a national issue, it comes with a massive and, a rising environmental cost for everyone. Just look at this number for a second. 1,000 terawatt hours. That, according to the International Energy Agency, is how much electricity data centers around the world could be using every single year by 2026. It's a number so big, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. So, to try and put that into perspective for you, 1,000 terawatt hours is about the same amount of energy that the entire country of Japan uses in a year. That's the scale we're dealing with here, the power for a whole industrialized nation just to run data centers. So, what does this actually mean for the planet? Well, it means a few big things. It leads directly to increased carbon emissions, especially if we're burning fossil fuels to meet that demand. It puts a crazy amount of strain on power grids all over the world, and it throws up a pretty serious challenge to the sustainability goals that we're all trying so hard to meet. But okay, the story doesn't just end there. The tech industry is very, very aware of this problem, and right now they're in a full-on race to find some solutions. And the biggest players in the game, the tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, the ones building all these data centers, they're the ones leading what's basically a two-pronged attack to try and solve this energy puzzle. And the strategy, when you boil it all down, is actually pretty simple. It really comes down to these two key steps. First, find cleaner ways to get power. And second, figure out how to just use less power in the first place. So let's talk about that first strategy, sourcing renewable energy. This is all about changing where the electricity comes from. These companies are pouring huge amounts of money into things like solar and wind farms. They're even exploring next-gen nuclear power, all to run their operations without pumping more carbon into the atmosphere. And then you've got the second strategy, which is all about innovating for energy efficiency. This is where the engineering gets super creative. We're talking about developing these advanced cooling systems that don't need nearly as much electricity. And at a micro level, designing new computer chips that are way more powerful but just sip energy instead of guzzling it. So, with all that said, where does that leave us? Well, it kind of leaves us with this fundamental tension, this push and pull right at the very heart of the AI boom, the classic conflict between progress and the planet. And you can really see the dilemma laid out perfectly here. On one side, you've got the incredible promise of AI. Unbelievable innovation, huge economic growth. And on the other side, you've got the harsh reality, rising carbon emissions, and real questions about whether our resources are sustainable. The future of AI is, without a doubt, tied directly to the future of our climate. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The AI energy surge highlights the tension between technological progress and environmental responsibility. It really is the central challenge of our time. How do we keep innovating and moving forward as a civilization without wrecking the planet in the process? And that brings us to the final, really crucial question we have to ask ourselves. We know for a fact that AI's appetite for energy is only going to get bigger. The real unknown, the thing nobody's sure about, is whether our innovative, sustainable solutions can be developed and scaled up fast enough to keep pace. That's the race we're in right now.